Welcome on back, everybody. Wild Willy here with episode 9 of our Get OP in the DLC walkthrough. We are starting from the Specimen Storehouse first floor site of grace. Gonna be running a little loop here. We're starting basically with like 400 runes. This is a little rune farming route that I do. Runes and gear, mostly runes. So we'll talk about a little bit as we run through. See if we can stop this guy. That's a minor miracle. I seem to always take chip damage from one of those three guys. So anyway, starting out from the Grace, take out the one, come over to deal with the Vulgar Militia, get those three guys in the room. Let me put on my lantern because it can be a little dark. That's a trap. There's a Vulgar Militiaman right there. So we'll let him come out, lock onto him. Alright, so more traps. There's going to be a flame casting dude up there. Yeah, him. See if I can lock onto him before he locks onto me. And we're just going to rush him down. Vulgar Militiaman coming from behind us, jumping over us. Okay, then we can run down here and kill this guy. And there's a Revered Spirit Ash that I already picked up, and it's on this route. I'm going to show you where it is. It was right in front of me. Thought it would be a little silly to like come all the way back through, so I went ahead and got it. But I will show you that. Kill that guy. Kill that guy. Kill that guy. Kill that guy. For some reason, he doesn't aggro. I'm gonna get backstab on him or kill him. Kill these two guys. And this is where I miss having the Blasphemous Blade. Any chip damage that I have taken while I'm doing this, I would be healing up from that. You can also get, I forget what the amulet is called, but you have to do pretty much most of the Volcano Manor questline to get it, and you get it up in the mountaintops of the Giants. So next up, they're going to be those two guys there, and there are two Vulgar Militia to the right. That guy couldn't wait, so he's coming for me. Normally, he's waiting right over there, and then the other one, that's the danger of locking on. The other one's waiting over there in the corner by the stairs. All right, if you go further down that way towards that loot, there's going to be a Fire Knight, but we're going to proceed along. And going to go down the hallway. There are going to be these three guys in front. I don't know how I missed that, but I did. Take them out. And then there are two more guys over here by the wall. This last one's tucked away. The shadow dudes range from like 1,700 to 2,400, and the Vulgar Militia are 3,400. And that's basically the loop. The Revered Spirit Ash is on top of the statue over there. Remember that fourth floor guy is going to be chucking at me, so I'm going to go back. I just wanted to show you that. We're going to access that from over here. You're going to hop up and over onto this. And if you miss, like you can, what they want you to do is hop over. If you miss, you hop on those two things and don't fall all the way down, and can hop up and over. Another little gap here. Then you want to jump across here and jump here and jump here. And then you walk up this thing's back, and right up here on its head, right here, is going to be the Revered Spirit Ash. So that is the farming route. Like I said, it nets me like 6,400 or 64,000 runes if I do the whole thing. So let me rest, and we can talk about some variations. We come over here, kill this guy again. They do drop loot. You'll have lots of Embers of Mesmer from the Shadow Dudes. The Vulgar Militia guys can drop gear or their weapon, the halberd, Vulgar Militia saw. You come out here, this is going to take you down to the front part of the castle. We've been down here once before. And this is to farm the Fire Knight. And there are Fire Knights around. This is the easiest one. In my opinion, he's, you know, kind of the closest to the Grace. You do have the elevator where you have to run down or ride down, but I just use the opportunity to buff up a little bit. Nice use of my time there. Then I send the elevator back up, lock onto this guy, and then I'm gonna rush him and beat him down. He should hear me and turn around, but get the running heavy should stagger him. And then it's just a poise battle. The reason I like this one is because in addition to dropping all of his gear, and we talked about the helmet, there it is, the Fire Knight's Greatsword. There are two variations. We'll come up on the other one next as we go through the castle. There's the Greatsword variant, and there is the, what I call the dagger variant. It's a dagger. You dual wield them. They're about the length of a short sword, which is great for a dagger, but they're still daggers, which I don't value a ton. But the Fire Knight's Greatsword is very nice. So then we would just warp back to the Grace. I'm going to see if I can catch a level. We're going to go up to the 4th floor and proceed from there. There's another Revered Spirit Ash that we can grab. And then let's talk more about builds in the DLC. We'll talk about it more as we go along. I was under-leveled coming into the DLC. I think I was like level 92 after I used all the runes where I killed Moog, maybe level 95 tops. 40 vigor is the absolute minimum you want to go into the DLC with. More is better. The next sap cap between 40 and 60, you know, it goes from 40 to 60. We're still getting decent returns for every level that we get. At this point, you kind of want to be pumping points into your major damage stat. For me, I'm at 40. If I two-hand my weapon, I'm at 60 strength. So that's pretty good. I could push it up to 54. So if I two-handed, I was at 80, which is the last soft cap for strength. As far as using weapons, if you want to fool around and experiment with a lot of weapons in the DLC, I find the break point where you can kind of, you know, like need to get to is right around 20 to 22. In order to be able to utilize most weapons. There are going to be some weapons where it's like, you know, strength weapon requires 40, you know, very specific cases where it's going to require a much higher number. But generally speaking, if you get to 22 across the board, strength, dex, intelligence, and faith, and arcane, you should be able to wield pretty much everything that you pick up. And then I'm going to be pumping faith. In the base game, let's go to the 4th floor. I'll keep talking as we're moving. In the base game, so we want to go to storehouse back section. That's the 4th floor. In the base game, holy damage is cheeks. It's not great. Really only the two bosses that are, you know, like weak to holy damage are going to be Radagon and the Elden Beast. So not great. This is where we came into the zone. That's where that one dude was chucking stuff at me while I was trying to show off the Revered Spirit Ash. So let's give him a bop. And then we're going to come back this way and proceed outside. I think we might need to go up and then go outside and then proceed. So let's do that. That's where we just were. Getting back to builds in the DLC, there are a lot of bosses that are, you know, weak to holy in the DLC. Radon, the final boss, is weak. The Inquisitor, whom we're gonna have to fight, he's a holy dude. I don't know if he's weak to it. The Putrescent Knight at the bottom of the Stone Caution Fissure is weak to holy. And then, you know, there's a lot of undead that are weak to holy. Let's see if we can yeet this guy off this time. Take him out. Gonna be a fire knight coming from behind us, but we're gonna proceed ahead over here. Kill this guy's on the way. We're headed for that hole in the wall, the gap a little further down. This one. And we're gonna kind of proceed up and around. So there are definitely some bosses, the undead, all the dragons that are weak to holy. This is not where I wanted to go. Storehouse loft, storehouse back section. We might have to just go through again and clear up to get to where I'm thinking of. Oh, here's the 4th floor. I went over to the wrong side. So anyway, more farming while I'm talking. That's fine. There are going to be some... There's going to be a fire knight out here who's like Mr. Spell Spammy. You can hide behind the boats. You can see him up there. You can hide behind these burning canoes a little bit, but eventually you're just going to have to kind of rush him down. And this is one of the dagger ones. Didn't get the critical, that's okay. As long as I can keep staggering him, that's fine. Smithing Stone 7. Got some bats up ahead. Get them out. Proceed down here for some shadow guys. Chip damage, so I'm gonna heal up. I know there's a loot out there. I'll go get it. Just trying to get my bearings. This is what you need to take to Ansbach to progress his quest line. That is where we proceeded up and around. So let's grab this. Go out here and grab this loot. So, bottom line is that holy damage gets a lot better in the DLC. So, holy damage is faith. That's why I'm pumping faith. Faith also gives you access to fire and to lightning. I'm in here. Kill that guy. That guy lurking. That guy. Kill that guy. And I'm looking for a statue. There's another one of those kind of beast thingies. Kind of like the divine dancing lion statues. And it's on that. I think we might need to keep going up. Up, Fire Knight. I'm gonna come over here and buff up. He'll probably stay at range, but if he wants to come closer, that's fine. Staying at range. Now he's gonna chuck more fireballs at me. And these guys, you just want to stay on them. If you're using the Bloodhound's Fang, got the bleed proc, and he's down. Smithing 7, 3 of them, and smithing 8. We're gonna proceed along to do that as well. We're gonna go into Fog Rift. I don't know if those smithing 7s were a guaranteed drop, but we're gonna get a bunch more of them in the Fog Rift port. Oops, thank you for drawing my attention. Already drank that, wrong one. Let's for this. There's a Fire Knight over there. This guy wants to hit me. Work my way down this hallway. Vulgar Militiaman's more of a threat. I think it's right down this hallway. Heal up again. I'm dead. How about that? So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to run back and grab my runes. Let me figure out where this thing is, and then I'm going to show you guys, because I kind of feel like I'm wandering around while I'm talking. And I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I figured out where it was. I was really close. We're at the storehouse, 7th floor site of grace. And where I had gone up the stairs and was working my way down the hallway and killing those guys and the vulgar militiamen, and then the Fire Knight comes down the stairs actually and sees you and follows you. If you go up, there's the Fire Knight that killed me the last time, and come over here, hop up carefully, hop over. There's our Revered Spirit Ash. So let's head back to the 1st floor and I'll pick it up with you guys there. All right, so we're back on the 1st floor in the storehouse, specimen storehouse site of grace inside the Shadow Keep. Just want everybody to grab a level. There's no reason, if it's your first playthrough, that you don't want to be grabbing every level that you can. So next up, we are going to head back over here to the Fort of Reprimand, and we want to go to the behind the Fort of Reprimand Grace. We talked about smithing stones and their availability in the DLC to fully level up a regular smithing weapon and then a somber weapon. So we can get a somber weapon to +9. I believe with that drop in the Shadow Keep, the 3 smithing stone 7s, that we have enough, but I'm going to show you some more. Where to get more smithing 7s and 8s. And then also here, we're going to pick up the Flame Drake Talisman +3. And we're going to pick up some 5s and 6s, just in case you're short. We're going to sneak on over to this guy. Go ahead and buff on up. Give him a little backstab action. And he's dead. We're going to go down here. Let me put on my lantern. And we're just doing this one little section. I haven't really explored much of the fort. If you want to, you can do that. We've got some basic foot soldiers here. We got a couple more in here. Alright, take them out. What is making all that noise? Alright, so then we want to proceed along through here. Hop up, hop over, hop up again. We're headed for that chest. And there's our Flame Drake Talisman +3. Very useful for when you're fighting Mesmer. We're going to go grab a... And that's where we came in, by the way. We just kind of did a loop from over there. This isn't where we came in. This will take you out to the courtyard. We came in over there on the other side of all this stuff. So let's proceed along. A couple more things to grab. Oh, wrong one again. So there is a ladder, or you can just drop down. This is a bit of a trap. Let me show you. There are a bunch of guys in there, and you drop down and grab that loot, and then they start chucking stuff at you. You can also come down the ladder. That's a little safer. So they're kind of trapped in there, whatever stuff they're throwing. And eventually, you know, once they both chuck pops, go in and wipe them out. Okay. And we got 7 smithing stone 5s off of that. And when we go in the chest, we got 8 smithing stone 6s. So that should really help you get to a point where you can level up a weapon. So let's get out of here. Next, we're going to go to the Fort of We are in the Fort of Reprimand. We're going to go to Fogrip Fort, which we are going to access over here. We picked this up in an earlier episode. Scadutree West. Now, for this part, you want to have kind of one or two things. makes this zone a lot easier. Number one, you want to have a bow and fire arrows, or you want to have a bunch of fire pots. So I'm going to go into my inventory or my equipment. I'm going to take off my shield, put on my rusty longbow, which as you can see isn't even leveled up. And then we got fire arrows. Okay, we're going to be using those. So we want a two-hand so that we can aim, and then I want to do those are my normal arrows, and then I'm going to do, I have them set up to do right trigger. So you want to look down carefully. I think you want to go over here to this little section where you can see the drop. We're going to drop down here, and I think there's another drop to the right. Yep. And then you're going to drop to the left. And drop on down, and you're in the fort, Thogriff Fort. And all we're doing is we're clearing out this section. We're going through that battlement. We're crossing that bridge, and then we are going to fight a Black Knight. He drops the Black Knight Great Shield, and behind him in that tower is a good archery talisman, the Arrow Soaring Sting Talisman, which combines a couple of both like range and damage. So I'm gonna aggro this guy, aggro them, and then I'm going to shoot one of my fire arrows. So this guy's coming up for me. Let's tell you what happens to these other guys. Let's be prepared to greet our friend as he's coming up. And he got iframes at the top of the ladder. Didn't help him. So let's go back to our bow. Let's see if we can draw this guy over. Regular arrow. And you can shoot him with fire arrows too. It doesn't matter. Did you not see me shoot you? I'm over here, buddy. Oh, and once again. Alright, so we're going to have to wait for him to come to the top. But anyway, that's kind of the strategy. You can shoot the barrels out. You can chuck fire bombs down. Those might actually work a little better. Ooh, he's got the glowy eye. Dropped 11,000 runes. All right, so from here on out, we're clear to descend. Go ahead and go on down the ladder. What did he leave me? A blessed bone sword. Don't go down there. Don't roll off the building like I almost did. And you can roll through the barrels and they will not explode. So we got some more in there. More explodey barrels. There are two guys in there. And this, unfortunately, will not take them out. I don't think, but it at least clears the barrels. We can have a little fun with this guy over here. Hopefully I won't shoot the platform again. Anyway, you get the idea. So we still have two guys in here. I took my shield off. There's like one more guy that we want to do arrows to. So there's one guy over here to the right, and he's standing up. So you want to come in and knock him out real quick. And then this guy, while he's getting up, you can go ahead and take him out. Probably could have shot him. That's okay. Back to our bow. Fire arrow. Boom. So yeah, just fun in this zone, blowing people up with barrels. You can see the summon sign. I'm gonna heal up. Put my shield back on. Take the bow off. And we'll get the shields in a minute. You see I have a few different choices here. This one is holy infused, no skill. This one is magic infused with parry. and it's going to boost their negation to those elements. When we go fight the Inquisitor at the bottom of the Darklight Catacombs, it's a good option to have one of these around just to be available. You can put it on the Mimic, and then you can two-hand, because he's going to be, you know, like an incantation spammer, and he summons a lot. So the idea is, you know, you have your shield out, you can duck around the corner behind some gravestones, summon the Mimic, heal up, and then you can rush him down with the shield out, and then, you know, you can switch to two-handing if you get a stagger on him, but that at least keeps you from absorbing 100% of his BS. So let's go ahead and pull out our Mimic. Heal up again. Gonna buff up. Damage negation, flame cramp strength, and he's gonna come right out the doorway there. You can kind of see him chilling in there. Now here he comes. That's the lizard tongue. I'm gonna back out of there so I don't get killed. We'll let Mimic draw some aggro from him. And I don't... That was unfortunate. Watch the slam. Don't roll off. Alright, now we can get into the fight together. We should be able to just kind of chain stagger him and take him out. One more. There we go. Come in here. 96,000 runes. The Black Steel Great Shield. Open this up. And we get 8 Smithing Stone 7s. So if you're short, hopefully you won't be short anymore. What are you over here fighting? Well, looks like one of the soldiers came over. There is a way. Alright, that's a separate area I'm not going to go over to. Really isn't any loot. What I'm looking for is, I thought there was a way up. And there is. Go around here. Come up here. And then there should be, yep, here's my ladder. Promise you guys the arrows. Soaring Sting Talisman. And that should be right up here somewhere. Up, I gotta go up one more time. That gives you a bunch of Smithing 7s. Should already have enough Smithing 8s, but I'm going to show you where to get a bunch more of those as well. Let's leave here. We're done with here. What we are going to do is we are going to hop on over to Hyro Cross. There's a troll here. I'm just going to show you where he is. He is down patrolling the water there. I don't want to take him on yet. I wanted to switch to my other weapon, the Milady, and give it a lightning infusion because he's walking around in water. And I wanted to tackle him with that. But let me just show you where he is. If you need Smithing 8s, I think he drops 9 of them, which is a ton. And then the imbued sword key, you just take it over to that church there. There's a gate like at the Three Sisters back, or the three belfries back in the base game. It transports you to the ancient ruins of Brow. You can pick up a couple pieces of loot, a talisman, and then fight a horned warrior. So that's the guy down right there. If you kill him, like I said, 9 Smithing Stone 8s. But anyway, we're at 30 minutes. Let's wrap up now, and I will see you for our next episode, number 10.